Caitlin Clark, let it be known, she does not like this Stephanie White offense, how these players in the WNBA don't even know where to move or how to move or where to cut. And that leads to a lot of her turnovers. And she also states how much she misses Lisa Bluder. And I think all of us Indiana Fever Caitlin Clark fans prefer if Lisa Bluder was the head coach of the
Caitlin Clark didn't just light up the scoreboard. She might have torched her whole playbook in the process. Picture this. Smashing rookie records while throwing side-eye at the very offense she's stuck running. Then casually wishing her old college coach would swoop in like some hardwood fairy godmother. Clark's waves right now, bigger than a half-court buzzer beater. And the locker room tension could be spicier than the game itself. You might be shocked how deep this rift actually runs.
I mean, what's going on here? And I'm sorry, but if Stephanie White's supposed to be this all-world coach, you're not going to show up to a game against the Phoenix Mercury with DeWanna Bonner playing on the other side after what she did to the Indiana Fever franchise, and you show up there and somehow the team is lifeless? Sophie Cunningham coming back to Phoenix and the team is lifeless? That is the coach.
Caitlin Clark didn't arrive in the WNBA to politely dribble around and obey the pass here, pass there, run the pattern manual. This is the same player who, as a rookie in college, had Lisa Bluder hand her the keys to the Ferrari and say, "Go drive, just don't wreck it." And Clark, she didn't just keep it on the road. She took it off-road, pushed 90 in a 40, and still turned every mile into a highlight reel.
Sums up why I can't stand Stephanie White as a basketball coach for Caitlin Clark. Like, I don't think that Stephanie White is a bad coach. Like, don't get it twisted. She's not a bad coach at all. I just don't think she's the right coach for Caitlin Clark. So let's take a listen to this right here. This was on the podcast with Super 8.
But I think that's even been something like me and Steph have like always talk about when we go and watch film, and even like that New York game where like I played really, really well. Obviously scored a lot of points. I think I had 9 assists or 10 assists that game.
She was a rebound and assist off a 32-point triple-double. And like, is the only reason.
So you can imagine the shock when she lands in the WNBA and suddenly has to run Stephanie White's offense. Which, let's be honest, feels less like a game plan and more like an HOA meeting debating mailbox colors. Rules everywhere. Creativity? Nowhere.
Man, it's just going to be interesting to see her come back and see this team fully go full circle around their set leader, and I'm still banking on it being Caitlin Clark. Without Caitlin Clark, they had 19 in the one game and 16 in their previous game without CC even playing.
Then comes the Liberty game. Clark's cooking. Not warming up, not simmering. Full-on alarm the fire department cooking. Fourth quarter hits, and sure, she makes 2 turnovers. Big deal. Even Michael Jordan coughed up the ball, and no one told him, "Mike, grab a folding chair, you're done." But here, boom, Clark's parked on the bench like she's in timeout.
My precious Cece, she was upset. She didn't say nothing, no smiling, walked off, not looking at no cameras. I'm talking about, you can tell it's all on her face. She got it in her mind. But look, I need y'all to understand. That was so embarrassing and pathetic, and the teamwork was not there. But I remember Jordan had got hurt his second year. He didn't come back into playoffs, and that playoff series was legendary. He scored 63 points in one game, but he still lost though.
Meanwhile, others are on the court turning the ball over like it's a free gift basket giveaway, and they're still getting minutes. Well, unless you're Tash or Mitchell. The only 2 besides Clark allowed to play like basketball isn't some military drill.
The Stephanie White offense compared to what she was doing at Iowa when she took over the world. Let's take a look.
At the college, like it was very similar. Like all I would attack, like we're known to have like 5 shooters on the floor at all time. Like we played with really good floor spacing, and at Iowa it was the same way. Like 4 people were on the floor that could shoot at the same time. Then obviously we usually played with a true post, but they rarely missed too. Like Mon never missed. Like Hannah Stolke was tremendous when I was there too, and even our backup post players. Like I always think about like how Coach Bluder like ran practices and things, and like I'm very fortunate looking back and like now going to like watch other colleges practices and things like that. Like she really like was so intentional about like making sure everyone was on the same.
Here's the real problem. Coaches like Stephanie White play don't make a mistake basketball instead of put on a show basketball. You don't win games or fans. if your main strategy is just not to embarrass yourself. That's not offense, that's hostage negotiations with a shot clock. Lisa Bluder never ran things like that. She didn't panic if Caitlin fired a risky pass or pulled up from the parking lot. Bluder knew that high-risk, high-reward plays are the reward. You don't take away a player's freedom after one gamble fails. You double down, because the next one might be the dagger. But in White's system, Caitlin's vision is being boxed in. She sees plays developing 3 seconds before they happen, a skill most veterans can only dream of. Instead of unleashing it, White keeps her in a cage, like she's afraid Clark might dribble into another dimension if she's let loose.
In over 10 years, and Caitlin Clark has something to do with that, man. They was 8-5 with Caitlin. At the end of the day, no matter how many games they win, they lost more games without Caitlin Clark playing. Like, so everybody argument that Caitlin Clark is the Achilles heel, Caitlin Clark is this and that, your argument is obsolete, bro. They will forever have that notion on there, that blemish on there. Now, if they would have won more games, lost less, then you might have had some.
What's missing in the WNBA right now? Basketball IQ that leads the game instead of chasing it. Some college coaches have that in spades. Drop Lisa Bluder into the league tomorrow, and she'd have a team scoring 110 a night without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, the current setup is strangling creativity in the name of safety, about as thrilling as watching paint dry in slow motion. Players won't take risks because risks mean bench time. For Caitlin Clark, that means her creativity is muzzled and her confidence chipped away. We need the college freedom back. We need coaches who understand a turnover-chasing greatness is worth 10 safe plays that go nowhere. We need Lisa Bluder energy in the WNBA. Maybe then, we'd finally see the kind of basketball that makes fans lean forward instead of scrolling past.
Still lost though, but at the end of the day, he fought, and you could tell that he missed being away from the game. So I can see my precious CC coming back doing her thing for the playoffs. I just want her to be 100% healthy at the end of the day. If Stephanie White gonna keep jeopardizing.
Right now, the only thing more predictable than the offense is Caitlin Clark getting benched for daring to be exciting. And if that's the new standard, don't be surprised when the league drives away the very thing it needs most. Players you can't take your eyes off. Let's address the elephant in the gym. The WNBA's obsession with veteran preference. Think meritocracy runs the show? Cute. In reality, the hierarchy is simple. If you've been around longer than a rookie, you can trip over your shoelaces, miss 3 layups, and pass the ball to the mascot, and you're still out there. Rookie makes one flashy turnover trying to create something? Boom, benched. From day one, Bluder didn't just hand Clark the offense, she gift-wrapped it, slapped on a do not return sticker and said, "It's yours now, make it shine." She knew confidence isn't built by yanking players for every misstep. It's built by letting them figure it out live, even if it means the occasional ugly possession.
Indiana Fever fans, so let's keep it real, let's keep it 100 like I'm being frank, you hear me? So let me ask y'all again, is Stephanie White a good coach, a great coach? I'm waiting. No, she not even close. If anything, she puts a star in the offense. She's sucking the life out of the team, out of the franchise. And Kelly Krostoff, whatever her name is, Lyndon, you hear me? They all need to go.
Look at the recent stretch and it's clear. Stephanie White's offense feels like filing a tax return, overcomplicated, packed with pointless steps, and always ending with someone frustrated. The sets are stiff, the ball movement cautious. It's the basketball equivalent of driving 35 in the fast lane with your hazards on. Sure, you'll avoid a wreck, but you're also making sure nobody's enjoying the ride. And this isn't about rookie growing pains. It's about smothering the very thing that makes Clark special, her unpredictability. Defenses should fear she might pull from the logo, fire a pass through a keyhole, or flip the game's rhythm in an instant. You don't get that by forcing her into a system that treats creativity like a technical foul. The irony? It's code for play our way, even if it kills your natural game. College coaches like Bluder don't just understand basketball, they understand players. They know when to push, when to ease off, and when to let a star be a star. Would Bluder have benched Clark after 2 turnovers in the 4th? Please. She'd be in the huddle drawing her next play and saying, Go make them pay for thinking you're off your game.
White, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White remains fully confident in her team following Thursday's deflating loss. The veteran coach sent a clear message. It was a 35-point ass drubbing. It was deliverance and Ned Beatty. Anybody seen that? Squeal like a pig? Yeah. The Phoenix Mercury bleeped the shit out of the Indiana Fever lab.
And speaking of being off your game, let's talk about the message this sends to the whole roster. If your star rookie, the one driving ticket sales, TV ratings, and actual wins, can get benched for a tiny misstep, what's that telling everyone else? Play it safe. Avoid risk. Don't try anything new. It's basketball with the excitement surgically removed. Which circles us back to the bigger issue, basketball IQ. The shortage isn't in the players, it's in the systems. Some of the sharpest minds in the sport aren't even in the pros. They're still in the NCAA, running creative circles around WNBA coaches with less talent, but way more imagination. Give a coach like Bluder a pro roster, and you'd see a team that actually looks like they enjoy the game. Brutal truth? There are players in this league who've mastered the art of looking busy while doing nothing productive. They're cardio kings and queens, but because they stick to the script, they're safe. Meanwhile, Clark takes one gamble too many, and suddenly she's got a front row seat for the rest of the night.
In the post-game press conference, Caitlin Clark Stephanie White made sure to give out about Caitlin Clark not passing the ball to Dantas. Like, we've seen Damiris Dantas play. She can't shoot. Why would Caitlin Clark pass the ball on an all-time heater to Dantas?
This last game this year. I started the fourth quarter off with like 3 turnovers in a row or 2 turnovers in a row, and Steph yanked me, and she was like this is like a learning moment. Like, you got to be able to yes, like maybe it could have been there, like maybe you could have thrown a little bit better of a pass, maybe they could have caught it, but like, do we need that in this moment?
If you want the WNBA to grow, you don't muzzle the most electric player to arrive in maybe ever. You give her the same freedom she had with Bluder, because that's when she's lethal. That's when she's the player everyone came to see. And yes, turnovers happen. They're part of being aggressive. But you know what's worse than turnovers? An offense so predictable the defense could guard it blindfolded while reciting the alphabet backward. Here's the irony. Let Clark play through her mistakes, and she probably cleans them up quicker. That's the perk of a high IQ player. They adapt, they adjust, they learn mid-game. Bench them, and you're not teaching anything. You're just telling them not to try. Bluder understood that. She didn't fear the occasional misfire because she saw the bigger picture. And this isn't just a Clark problem, it's a league-wide one. But she's the perfect example because we've already seen what she is with freedom. A walking highlight reel who made even casual fans tune in. Right now, she's stuck in a style built for the coach's comfort zone, not hers. And all that does is dim the very spark that made her a star before she ever played a pro minute.
Lisa Bluder always made sure people knew what they were going to do, aka she made sure people knew their role. Everybody knew their role, and that is the problem with the Indiana Fever and the bullcrap that Caitlin Clark deals with now. We got Natasha Howard coming in talking about she wanted to win MVP. Red flag. Red flag. We got Caitlin Clark, and you're talking about joining this team and winning MVP. She didn't know her role. Didn't know her role. That is the difference. We got a bunch of people on this team that do not know and understand their role.
Here's the fix. Get coaches who coach to their players, not just to their playbook. Let Clark run. Let her experiment. And yes, let her make mistakes. The WNBA doesn't need more safe, forgettable possessions. It needs jaw-dropping ones. You don't get that without a little chaos. Nobody's buying tickets to watch a team tiptoe through a game. They're buying to see moments that get replayed for years. And right now, the league's best shot at delivering those moments is spending too much time on the bench instead of creating them. And can we talk about this whole protect Caitlin Clark narrative like she's a fragile vase on a shaky shelf? Protect her from what? The basketball court? She's not a porcelain doll. She's the player who walked into hostile arenas in college, dropped 40, and left with an entire crowd booing because she ruined their night. You can't win long-term if the defense knows exactly where the ball's going every possession. And right now, in this system, Clark's offense has all the spontaneity of a...
Today, Stephanie White has a clear conundrum on her hands, and she needs to figure out a solution to this problem before it's too little, too late. When Caitlin Clark was out with injury, Natasha Howard played well. Natasha Howard played well enough that kept us afloat along with Ari McDonald, along with Kelsey Mitchell, but Natasha Howard wasn't nearly as much of a hinder to the offense with Caitlin Clark.
She wasn't just scoring, she was orchestrating. Every possession felt like something could happen. A deep three, a sneaky dime, a steal into a break. That unpredictability kept defenses guessing and fans glued to their seats. Strip that away, and you don't just change her style, you change the whole game. You win by letting stars play the way they became stars in the first place. Bring back the freedom. Bring back the swagger. Bring back the green light Lisa Bluder gave Clark from day one. Let her make the risky pass because half the time it will work. And when it does, it's on every highlight reel in America. Right now, the WNBA has a golden ticket in Caitlin Clark. But keep letting rigid systems clip her wings, and that ticket turns into a receipt. And receipts don't sell out arenas.